So for 1/1/2026, we have individual and family plans as well as small group plans. We are also moving into the level funded space. I'm not sure if you all do any work in that level funded space, but in Oklahoma, Georgia, and Maine in 2026, we will have level funded options to offer to groups, 11 employees, 11 enrolled is going to be the minimum for the level funded, and then there has to be 25 or more eligible employees. So we're talking about slightly larger groups than a small group typically. Looking at our renewal rates, we definitely take pride in our renewal rates here. So we have a 90% renewal rate across our entire population of members. A lot of that comes down to the access to primary care and the DPCs, like I mentioned. Our customer service or member support team, rather, is in-house, and they're just fantastic. They really treat our members like they do come first, not just a number, right? So I know a lot of carriers say that. I definitely mean it in this case. There's some testimonials here that I'll let you review on your own time. And a quick note here as well is that our renewal rate for members that actually take advantage of the direct primary care benefit they actually have a renewal rate of 97%. So again, just showing how impactful that benefit is. Once someone tries that DPC plan, they essentially never want to leave. The 3% that we see, the majority of those that don't renew are because they're actually moving out of state, if that makes sense. So it's just not available to them anymore. So again, all of these are ACA compliant, federally regulated plans. This isn't an alternative to health insurance, right? This is health insurance. So we are open access HMO. That essentially all that means is that referrals are not required for our specialists. So you can actually go straight to an in-network specialist instead of having to go through your PCP ahead of time. And that's essentially it. We do have an appendix here that you can go through on your own time. There's a brokers at mending.com. That's for anything broker related from kind of a support aspect. For anything Maine related, that will be me. For anything Oklahoma related, that will be Dustin. In terms of like actual help with a certain sale or a small group or something like that. And from a Georgia perspective, that will be Logan. I will send you everybody's contact information across those 3 states. So if you have any specific questions there, you can reach out to them. Again, in the back here, there's a quick appendix where you can run through the actual, a little bit of a granular look at our plans. Again, these are the standard plans that are not our DPC plans, just so you can see what those look like, kind of the differences between the DPC and the standard plans here. And at the very end, I always like to shout this out. This is a resource page for you as an agent. So our PDF brochures for clients are right here. You can click, these are all hyperlinked. Plan documents are here, so you can get the SBCs, SOBs, EOCs, things like that. Broker portal login, network directory, formulary search, and our YouTube page as well. I always like to shout out. Can be a really great resource for you and also for clients to learn about mending and specifically that direct primary care aspect of it. We do realize that a big portion of this is educational, just getting people to understand what direct primary care is. It is something that is growing in, very quickly gaining traction within the markets that we're in. One of the reasons we're in Maine, or really the reason we're in Maine and in Oklahoma to start, they seem like very random states to start in, is because direct primary care is very much taken hold in those states. So we're seeing more and more clients and people are becoming more familiar with direct primary care. So it's a much easier conversation to have if they are familiar with it. If they aren't familiar with it, we realize that it is a bit of an educational process. So feel free to lean on us with any of that education because, obviously for a lot of you, it's a new concept as well. You're not going to be able to turn around tomorrow and be an expert on this, right? So again, we're here to help you with any of those educational components, but this YouTube page can be a really great way to just quickly share with your clients a little bit of info. It's a little bit easier and more appealing than reading through sort of a boring brochure about DPC, for example. I know for me, at least, I'm a little bit more of a visual learner. This YouTube page can be really fantastic for that. Really quickly as well, let's see if this will switch over here. I can show you our broker portal here. Are you able to see this now that I switched windows? Let me know if not. But for anyone that is not appointed with us, once you do get appointed, you can go into your portal and you can go into new quote essentially. And I will provide a link to get appointed for any of those who are not appointed. It's a pretty easy process. From here, you can click new quote and then individual and family or group quote. You can start a quote there. And once you run through that, it gives you step-by-step, you can plug in the census, you can download the census template and plug it in for a larger group. For individuals, you can plug them in one by one if you'd like. And after that, it just kind of brings you through that whole process as to what that looks like in order to get a quote. You can print out a PDF or download a PDF of that quote. And then from there, you can start the application and enroll right in the portal. So it's really straightforward here. But again, any issues or questions with the portal, that brokers@mending.com email is going to be your best bet there. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I know that was a lot of info pretty quickly here, so would love to help clarify anything that anyone might have a question on.